Hello, butterflies. Welcome to my little corner of YouTube. I have had so many little epiphanies over the last few days. It's kind of like when it rains, it pours in a certain way. There's just like this ripple of beauty and all these little serendipitous encounters, and it's beautiful and wonderful. And anyway, I am having a birthday in a couple of days, turning 60, if all goes well. And part of what I keep seeing just in the last few days, in this last season coming out of winter, it's still winter, but I feel like the cold and the gloom and the darkness is starting to lift. And I think a lot of us, if we're being honest, are kind of hoping that the gloom and the darkness and the heaviness that we might feel in our hearts, mentally, physically, spiritually, is beginning to dissipate a little bit as well as we start to make our way into the warmer weather with more sunshine. And it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like there's this uh, it's like a blanket is being pulled back, and we're just seeing things in a brand new, lighter way. Anyhow, one of the epiphanies that I had is about aging itself. I don't think I'm a person who's opposed to aging. It feels to me like if you take good care of your spine and you put good things in your body and you move regularly and you take, you keep negativity at a minimum and you try very hard to set boundaries and protect your time, all these different things. If we find peace within, sounds woo-woo, but it's true, then really aging is only a chronological situation. Yeah, we're getting older. Yes, we have a birthday that takes us one step, 1 year further every single year. That's okay. But getting old, in my opinion, it's either a choice because of, I don't know. I just don't think that it's something that has to happen. We get older, but I don't think that means the same thing as we get old. And also, the other thing I've thought about more in that same area is like, I don't want to stay young. I want to feel good. I want to be well. I want to be active. I want to be learning and engaged. And I also want to have freedom to just curl up all afternoon and read a stack of children's books, or, maybe watch an old movie, which I don't tend to watch movies hardly ever, but to have that option, or to just, sit outside in a chair and watch the clouds go by if I want to do that, because there's a lot to be gained from allowing yourself those kinds of activities. And when you're younger, if you raised a family, if you've had a really, really busy job or both, then the option to do some of those things like sitting in a chair and watching clouds go by they're pretty limited, because we have to do what we have to do to take care of our people that we love. And it's a joy and a beautiful responsibility and an honor. And when those beautiful children or that wonderful job is on its own, or, not part of your everyday responsibility anymore, then you can start to lean into, well, what is it that I really want to do? What is my purpose now? And we all have one. We all have a divine purpose. And sometimes in the minutia of life, it's harder for us to sort of discern what that is. So there's a lot to be said for just the inward quiet time. And as far as the aging process goes, I think if we take the time to really get to know ourselves from the inside out on a somatic level, We can embrace the wisdom that comes with getting older. We can embrace, okay, I have some gray hairs right here. Big deal. We can embrace that one of my thumbs has a little bit of a crick in it sometimes. And yet, I feel free. I feel happy. I feel grateful. I feel spiritually led all the time. I lean into listening for those little voices, and that's where all those serendipitous little miraculous engagements happen. Look for those. Lean into, we can't turn back the clock. We can take care of our bodies. We can eat delicious food. We can treat ourselves once in a while. This morning for breakfast, I had a warm cinnamon roll and 2 scrambled eggs. I never eat that kind of thing, and I don't hardly ever eat that time of day at like 9:30. What? However, I was like, I'm going to treat myself today because it's Tuesday. You don't have to have a specific reason to celebrate yourself, to show yourself grace, to not beat yourself up if you say, I'm going to go to the vending machine and get a Snickers bar. Is that our best choice? Maybe not. However, you have to be open to the fact that you're human. And sometimes we eat a Snickers bar. Sometimes we have an extra glass of wine. Sometimes we don't get a good night's sleep. Show yourself grace. Pick yourself up. Start over again. Know that you're not alone. And maybe there are some little tiny tools that you can start to invite into your day, like sitting for 5 minutes quietly and just listening to yourself breathing in and out. Or trying something new. Get on a bicycle again. Wear your knee pads and your helmet. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Yes, I think you could get back on a bicycle. Or take a left turn when you really need to make a right turn and just see where the road takes you, metaphorically and literally. Try something new today. That's one great way to kind of just stay engaged, keep life fun, keep life interesting, and a little bit whimsical. I wish you all the best. And here's the great news. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are here for a divine purpose. You are enough as you are. You don't have to do anything at all to make that so. It already is true. It's always been true. Lean into your divine purpose. And if you don't know what that is, give yourself some time to just be quiet so that you can start to hear what it is that's on your heart and in your heart that might make you come alive and serve other folks well in the process. I think you're incredible, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.